The market's a bit softer. In general, that's the trend we're seeing across the African continent. But in Zimbabwe, it's policy issues, it's the macro environment, and there's been a lot of capital flight. Why so?
Definitely. In a shift in the local investment perspectives, most local investors, the likes of the pension funds and the asset management side, have been withdrawing money from the equities market into the money market, notably because the returns in the money market at the moment have been higher due to the liquidity challenges in the economy. So we have seen that capital flight taking place. Also on the policy side, the heightened indigenization implementation has seen some limited buying from foreign investors who have been supporting the market since, I think, dollarization in 2009. But due to the uncertainty regarding those regulations, we've seen a limited buying taking place since the beginning of the third quarter, and also coming into the fourth quarter. Foreign buying has been slightly dwindling.
All right, let's talk about what's going on the industrial sides. We've seen gains in Hippo, that share price up 25%, better sugar prices, better production. It's also lifted ICO. Just help us understand that relationship and what you're expecting to see at Hippo going forward.
Hippo, I think, following from the parent company Tongaat, did release their results, I think, a few weeks back, and they did allude to the fact that volumes were growing this side of Limpopo. Definitely, that is what has been taking place on the ground. The turnover was significantly up 80% for their 6 months to September this year. That was largely driven by stronger volume growth. Their volume went up 80% to about 120,000 tons, a significant growth indeed, considering that those estates, at one time there was issues regarding invasion from some locals nearing those lands during the land reform era. But we are seeing the production now almost getting back to normal levels, and also the shortages of sugar in Europe has also helped Hippo in that prices for raw sugar have been strong since the beginning of the year. So the export side has also benefited that counter very quite strongly.
All right, let's talk about what we're expecting to see going forward. People are awaiting the announcement of Budget 2012, and if I'm correct, it was meant to be announced end of this week or the beginning of next week. Basically, we know that Tendai Biti's always said he wants to preserve cash. He doesn't want to spend beyond what they earn as a government in Zimbabwe. So a more modest budget, are you expecting?
Yes, the minister has got very few wings to fly as far as the revenue side is concerned. But initially he had projected that he was going to present a 3.4 billion budget in terms of the expenditure side, which would naturally have to be met by the revenue side since it's a cash budget. But there's been a development since that initial pronouncement in that the Kimberley process did lift the suspension on our diamond exports. So now that we are allowed to export some of those diamonds, we expect a little bit of more revenue trickling into government coffers. So definitely we are expecting a slight adjustment to the figures from the initial projection of a 3.4 billion budget, perhaps slightly being lifted upwards in lieu of the expected revenue increment.
Right.
We also expect to be a social budget in terms of trying to help the poor men in the street in terms of the tax bans, the income taxes, and also trying perhaps to fund more the social services.